Hey, welcome to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. Think Thursday is all about your beautiful, brilliant human brain. We're talking neuroscience. We're talking behavior change. We are talking about your mindset. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hello and Merry Christmas to all of you who are celebrating today. We are revisiting an episode of Think Thursday because it's a holiday and I'm taking the day off just like many of you are. And so we're revisiting a topic on the importance of mental rest for the brain. And coming out of a season of a lot of overstimulation, I think it's probably pretty timely. Have a great week, everyone. I will see you on Monday. Hey there, welcome to another episode of Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist. If you are new around here, Think Thursday is where we talk about brain health and neuroscience and mindset. Because when we understand how our brains work, we can work with them, not against them, to create real and lasting behavior change. Today, I want to talk about something we don't often think about when it comes to brain health, and that is mental rest. Not sleep, not meditation, but the kind of mental rest that comes from giving your brain a break from constant stimulation. We live in a world that is literally designed to steal our time, our energy, our attention. And technology companies, social media platforms, they literally profit from our distraction, right? As a result, we spend more time reacting to notifications, scrolling down our devices, consuming content more than we do thinking or creating or being present in our own lives. And here's the truth. Our brains were really not designed for this level of input. And when we don't give our minds a break, we become less effective, less creative, and more stressed out. We struggle with focus, we struggle with decision making and emotional regulation. We feel overwhelmed, anxious, and mentally exhausted. But instead of taking a break, what do? We try to fix the problem by consuming even more information. And hey, I'm a podcaster. I want you to consume content, right? I want you to use your devices and to listen. But today I am going to dive into the neuroscience behind mental rest, why your brain needs downtime to function properly. We're going to talk about how today's world is designed to hijack your attention and keep you from getting the mental rest you need. We're going to talk about the power of real world creativity as a way to restore your brain. And I'm going to talk about some simple science-backed strategies to help you reclaim brain rest and optimize your cognitive function. So, if you've ever felt mentally exhausted, scattered, or overwhelmed, then this episode is for you. Let's get into it. So, like I said, our brains are not wired for constant input. For most of human history, our brains had built in moments of quiet. There were long walks, there was time spent staring at a fire, hours spent doing nothing in particular. And these moments weren't wasted time, they were actually essential for mental processing and well being. Now we fill every spare second with information. If you're standing in line, check your phone. Waiting for a minute for a meeting to start, scroll through social media. Walking from one room to another, put in your headphones and listen to something. And this constant input overloads our brains and makes it harder to think clearly. Here's what's happening at a neurological level when we are constantly consuming content.
Number one, cognitive fatigue. Your brain burns through energy just by processing information. When it doesn't get breaks, it tires out faster, making you more prone to stress, overwhelm, and decision fatigue. Number two, decreased creativity. We have talked about the default mode network now for a few weeks here on Think Thursdays. I've been mentioning it. The DMN is in your brain is responsible for reflection, problem solving, and idea generation. And it only activates when you are not actively focusing on external input, which means if you never unplug, you are literally stifling your own creativity. Increased, number three, neurologically, you are setting yourself up with constant stimulation for increased stress and anxiety. Constant stimulation keeps your sympathetic nervous system activated, which means higher cortisol levels, less emotional regulation, and more reactivity to stress. Number four, you've also, with constant stimulation, you are going to have a weaker memory and a weaker system for learning. Your brain consolidates information when you rest, and without downtime, new information just doesn't stick, and you struggle to retain what you've learned. So, even though we might feel like we're doing more by staying engaged 24/7, we're actually making our brains work harder for worse results. And to make things worse, we live in an era where there is no natural stopping point. Think about how the world used to function. Television stations used to sign off late at night. Like until the 1970s and even later in smaller markets, TV stations would stop broadcasting in the overnight hours, leaving only a test pattern on the screen. I always think about the scene from Poltergeist, where at the end of the night when the American flag is coming up, that they used to play the national anthem before and show the American flag before it went to that blank screen, right? But the point is that broadcasting stopped. And this meant at some point entertainment ended, and it forced people to unplug, sleep, or engage in something else. The world used to close early and close on Sundays. There was a time when businesses weren't open 24/7, which meant you weren't expected to be constantly available or consuming. Phones used to be attached to the walls. And if someone called you and you weren't home, they had to leave a message or they called back later. You weren't expected to respond instantly the way we are today with smartphones in our pockets. Nowadays, none of these natural pauses exist. Everything is on demand 24/7, designed to keep you engaged. Television never stops. Streaming services autoplay the next episode, for gosh sakes. There's no stopping point, no moment where you're forced to ask, do I really want to keep watching? Smartphones ensure that you're always connected. You can be reached at any time from anywhere for any reason. And if you don't respond quickly, people wonder why. And social media never ends. There is no final page to scroll, no bottom of the feed, no built in, you're done now moment. News cycles run 24/7, and there is always a breaking story, something urgent, something designed to capture your attention, even if it doesn't affect, even if it doesn't actually affect your daily life. And of course, email and work communications are endless. Many people feel pressured to check messages outside of work hours because there is no longer a clear start and stop to the workday. All of these things, technology, media, work expectations, are stealing our time and our focus and our ability to rest. And the worst part is that we don't even really realize we're certainly not outraged that it's happening. We sort of like just expect it, right? We think we're choosing to scroll, to watch, to respond, to engage. But are we really? Or is it just because there is no natural off switch anymore? Your attention is the product that everyone is after. One of the most important things to understand is that if something is free, you are the product. Social media is free because advertisers pay for your attention. Streaming services keep you watching because the more engaged you are, the more likely you are to keep your subscription. News outlets thrive on engagement, but not accuracy. They are incentivized to keep you watching, not necessarily to inform you in a balanced way. Now, technologies aren't inherently bad, but when we don't actively create boundaries, we lose control over how we spend our time and where we direct our energy. And as I said at the very beginning, our brains are not designed for constant engagement. Without intentional breaks, your mind stays in reaction mode, constantly responding, constantly consuming and processing, rather than creating, rather than reflecting or truly resting. The good news? We can take back control and prioritize rest for the brain. And this doesn't have to mean sleep or meditation. And one of the best ways to give your brain rest is that is to do something that is still being engaged, and that is to create. Now, not on your computer, not on your phone. I'm talking real hands-on creation. Here's why real world, we'll call it real world creativity, is essential for brain health. And here's not only why some of this real world creativity is essential, but here are some really good ideas on how uh, to exercise real world creativity. Number one, play music or learn an instrument, because music engages multiple areas of the brain at once and it strengthens memory and cognitive flexibility. If you already play, make time to play just for fun. And if you don't, try learning. Even something as simple as drumming on a table engages your brain in a new way. Number two, draw, paint, or doodle. Drawing, painting, and doodling activates visual and motor skills, which also gives your brain space to process. Doodling while listening can actually improve memory retention. And you don't need to be an artist. Just create for the sake of creating. Number three, write by hand. Handwriting activates deeper processing and it improves focus and memory. Try journaling, try writing letters, or just copy down quotes that you love. Number four, get your hands dirty. Gardening, sculpting, or crafting. Gardening gets you outdoors, uses your body, very good things. Clay sculpting or woodworking activates your spatial awareness and your fine motor skills as well. And number five, move creatively. Dance, stretch, or walk mindfully. Movement is a form of expression. Dancing or yoga engages the brain body connection and it reduces stress and improves focus. So, if you want a healthier brain, you have to create space for rest. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to schedule some tech-free time. 30 days and 30 minutes a day with no screens. I want us all to think about how each and every day we are going to prioritize and put it on our calendars 30 minutes of tech-free time. Minimum. Number 2, I want you to embrace boredom. That's right. Let yourself sit in silence. Let yourself sit. Think. Don't try to crowd out time for just being silent. I talked about the power of silence not too long ago on Think Thursday. Create a no phone zone. Choose one area of your life where you just commit to being present. Many people adopt the no phones at dinner, rules, um, ways that you can maybe address nighttime scrolling. Decide to charge your phone in the kitchen and leave it there overnight. I want you to choose one area, one time, one moment, or whatever in your life where you commit to being totally and fully present, and it's a no phone zone. And as we just talked about, prioritize real world creativity. Replace that scrolling with hands on creation. Your brain is not designed for nonstop input. Mental rest is not a luxury, it is a necessity. So, for the next 24 hours, find one way to engage in real world creativity. No screens allowed. Let me know how it goes. Send me an email, molly@mollywatts.com. Drop into the Facebook group, The Alcohol Minimalists, and I would love to hear about how you are practicing mental rest. As always, take care of your brain, choose peace, and I will see you on Monday.